What's up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. Holy crap, there's so much going on with this James Charles sisters saga. It's almost impossible to keep up with. When I did my last two videos, I had a pretty good idea of the magnitude of the impact of this sister shady cyclone was going to affect the world, but I think it's safe to say at this point there hasn't been anything quite like this Dramageddon of 2019. James has lost more subscribers than any other YouTuber in the shortest amount of time. Almost 3 million subscribers just went poof over the weekend. But so much more has happened since my last video when I talked about James' so-called apology video and pretty much clowned on that. Props to the drama channel covering all this. I don't feel like I need to rehash every little thing since they already have done a great job covering this on the platform. I'm a small creator at this point, and I really admire and respect that grind. As you guys know, this is a new channel, and I really want to focus more on humorous commentary and memes, but it's kind of starting to get to the point where this topic is becoming old to joke about and not as funny anymore. There was a lot to make fun of with the apology video and the subscribers falling really rapidly and people throwing subscriber drop parties. For me at least, these jokes get old after a while, at least for me. And then I don't get inspired because it's the same thing all over again. And I have to say, this meme will never get old. James threatening his lawyer. James' sub counts continue to drop. And now it appears that his merch, Sister Apparel, is officially discontinued. The site is out. It's unclear if the plug was pulled by James or if it was done by Jeffree Star. So now we're all caught up to date on everything, provided nothing happens before this video is put out, which could possibly happen. So where does he go from here? The backlash from all this, as I said in the beginning of the video, has been something we've never seen before. He's been hit harder than Logan Paul, PewDiePie, and other social media stars that have been in the center of controversy. And now, here begs the question, can he redeem himself? And if so, what would he have to do? In my experience with cancel culture, especially YouTube cancel culture, is that it usually doesn't stick. There are exceptions. Tobuscus was canceled after he was accused of rape, and he's never really recovered from that. Yes, James has been called out as a predator, among other things, but he has not been outright accused of sexual assault. It doesn't excuse his predatory behavior, it doesn't make what he did okay, but I do believe since his offense wasn't of this magnitude, there might be a good chance he will come back from this. Perhaps not as powerful as he was before, but I think in order for him to really be over, something a lot worse needs to happen than what we've seen so far. And I wonder if Jeffree Star will come forward with what he knows. If there is a rape accusation, I don't believe he will recover. But after all the dust settles, I believe that people will move on to the next person who does something problematic, and people will move on to somebody new who becomes the center of controversy, a new controversy. And over time, if James does what he needs to do to redeem himself, he could come back just as strong. The reason why I say this is because the public seems to be forgiving over time. Take Jeffree Star himself, for example. In light of recent events, a few people have gone and dug up inappropriate tweets from Jeffree's past. And the reason why I will talk about them briefly is because most people do not care. They're almost 10 years old, so it's not who he is right now. People change. And that means James can also change, just like Jeffree did. It might not happen overnight, it might take 9 years, who knows? But let's just say, for the sake of this argument, that no new allegations come out. What could James Charles do to redeem himself? First off, he needs to admit that he has a big problem. He needs to admit to himself, then his friends and family, and then, and only then, can he make a genuine apology video to the public where he flat out says, I used my fame and money and power to manipulate men. I was wrong. I am a horrible person for what I did. Not what he said in his apology video when he blamed his boy troubles on not being careful. That isn't gonna cut it. He needs to straight up admit he has a problem. He needs to cancel his tour and give refunds to the people that bought tickets. I think he should refund and bankroll the tour himself. He can afford it. Even with everything he's losing right now, he could afford it. Imagine him going around and meeting his fans for free. Look at Rupert Grint, who drives around an ice cream truck to neighborhoods and gives kids free ice cream. James could do that, but like with makeup, like a makeup truck. He should take a break from social media and YouTube. however long he needs to get his priorities straight. He's lost so many friends over all of this, but he still probably has a few, plus his family. I think putting out a statement saying he's taking a break to work on himself and hopefully become a better person is a step in the right direction. This is obvious, but he should get help, like therapy, for his ego, for his kink at pursuing straight men who are clearly unattainable. There is a psychological reason for this. And I'm not a shrink. I'm not going to pretend to be a shrink. But I bet if he got the help he needed, he might be able to get to the bottom of his issues and start a path to recovery. Donate lots of money to survivors and victims of sexual assault. Donate time to these causes. Some might see this as a superficial fix, but some might also see it as a step in the right direction. Become someone who has changed and evolved. People can be forgiving. It will never make what he did right. But if he did something to help people, it would definitely redeem his image. And last but not least, I think a few have mentioned the possibility of Shane Dawson doing a documentary about him. Nobody knows if this is something Shane would be willing to do, but I think it would definitely help restore his image. And if Shane doesn't do it, we have Ellen or maybe some other TV personality or big personality that would be willing to talk to him and sit down and do a real interview with him where he talked about how he screwed up everything. There's such a good, juicy story there. And honestly, people love redemption stories. Redemption stories are not as popular as cancel stories. Please leave a comment below and let me know if you think that James will recover from this. And if so, what you think he needs to do or things that he could do to recover from this. What would it take for him to earn back your respect? And if it's a no-go and he would never earn your respect back, I totally understand. Some people don't deserve it. And I'd say in certain situations, especially having to do with being a sexual predator, it's very, very difficult to forgive that. But I think there are a lot of people that are forgiving. So please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a great day.